Well, this is Dr. Russ, and we're not in southeast Michigan. No, as a matter of fact, this big facility right here is DonnyFL in Florida. And it probably doesn't take much to guess who owns the truck parked right here in space number 1 with 500 horsepower, by the way. Well, we found the right door. Let's see if we can find Donny. I think we found Donny and Izzy. Donny, how are we doing?
Hey, Doc.
This must be Izzy behind you.
Yep, my right-hand guy.
And that's a funny-looking suppressor right there.
Yeah.
Donny, what is this something new?
Something we're doing some R&D right now. You know, the hot topic right now in the airgun community is harmonics tuner. So
this piece right here.
Yep.
Okay, and then this is the conventional suppressor.
Yep. So this will add on to there, and the theory is that, you know, by moving it just a little bit, it changes the POI to the point where you need it to, or like for the harmonics to be perfectly in tune with the gun.
So a lot of times a gun can be affected just by touching it, and this is going to take all that touching into account and bring those shots right back into a tight group.
Yeah, yep. And that's the plan. So we're just in our initial testing phase. So I think Izzy actually tried it out over the weekend, and he had some really good results.
Good.
So we're looking forward to more testing.
Now, in addition to this being a harmonic balancer, we've got some other parts on this FX gun.
Yep.
That are actually made and produced right here. What are they? Why don't we start at the back?
So, you know, this Saber Tactical, this is Saber Tactical, my other company. We design it actually in Utah, but we ship everything out from this warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah. We got this. We have the arc of rails, the railings. What else does Izzy? This is actually Izzy's gun, and Izzy just Frankenstein his gun to, you know, to his needs, and he has this 3D printed.
Oh wow!
That's by Black Arts Design.
Yep, Black Arts Design. David.
Yep.
Does an awesome job.
This is a 22.
22. Yes.
That's Izzy's caliber right there. This is
That's all I shoot. 22 caliber. I like my shot count and accuracy. I get best of both worlds with that. So.
And you shoot slugs.
And I shoot slugs. 34 grain Patriot slugs is in the current testing phase for me, but they've been really, really good projectiles to shoot out of it.
What kind of energy?
At 950 feet per second, I'm getting close to about 85 foot-pounds of energy out of that.
Twice any other 22 caliber gun.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I am able to crank up the power more, but 950 to 980 feet per second is perfect for me. It stays consistent, no flyers. I'm happy at that velocity.
To go higher, the gun, the pellet, the slugs wouldn't be as stable.
They'll still be stable at those velocities. Slugs are more forgiving at higher velocities, but for what I'm doing, I'm mostly doing target shooting, a little bit of hunting here and there. They do really well, and if you don't need to go fast, no reason to crank it up. You know, save yourself the energy and stress on the components inside the gun itself.
You recently went on an iguana hunt here in Florida.
Yeah.
How many iguana did you get?
I lost count. Me and Markeith went, and then me and Donny went the first time. The first time, we got so many iguana that we couldn't even recover most of them. How many did we have in the bow? About 18, 20?
Yeah, it was a lot. It's just that a lot of times, like after you shoot them, they dive into the water, and then we can't retrieve them. He made some incredible shots. I mean, Izzy is Izzy with his shooting. I mean, he can just, no matter what distance, just he looks at it, zooms it, logs it in, and then he knocks it out.
Now I understand that iguana, there's an iguana that actually runs on the surface of the water.
Yeah, the little iguana, was it Jesus lizard is what they call them.
Jesus lizard.
Yeah, they run on the wheels.
Because he walks on water.
Yeah, it walks on water. Well, it runs on water, but on my other gun I have down there, it's a Maverick. We're barely getting out on the boat, barely coming around the edge of the water, and this little lizard's just running. And Mike yells like, "Hey, look over there, it's a Jesus!" I just right away load up and hit it as it's running, and everyone's like, "Oh!" No one caught it on video, but it was fun.
You had witnesses, so that's good enough. He had witnesses.
Yeah. Good. Donnie, what in the world is this table right here?
So this is a lot of R&D. We get so many different requests for different guns. We take them apart, and that's the thing about my air guns. We don't really take care of them. You can't really, because we take them on and off all the time. When I first got into air guns, it's like, I was like the other guys who had to keep my gun perfectly, no scratch and all that. But now I just accepted it that my guns are not going to be perfect. It's going to be used and abused.
And you're working on everything. I see a Humerex brake barrel.
Yeah.
Humerex Gauntlet.
The Gauntlet.
What's this gun?
This is the Dreamline in our Saber Tactical chassis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can really do an upgrade on an FX gun.
Yep. A lot of options for the Dreamline model.
You can take some air with you.
Yep. So this is I know a lot of people haven't seen this bag. It's our new Saber Tactical tank bag that's going to be in production soon.
Okay. So that's your other company, Saber Tactical.
Yep.
And making the suppressors is DonnyFL.
Yes.
Now the biggest question we have, DonnyFL. Does FL stand for Florida?
Florida. Okay. We've had so many people come up. It's like, what's Donny Fly? I was like, it's not Donny Fly. It's DonnyFL. Donny Florida.
Okay. Well, this is beautiful. Just point out some of these other guns. What are we looking at?
So we got the Woodstock Avenger. Really awesome gun for the budget. I mean, there's nothing to complain about this gun. Compared to I like it compared to the synthetic stock because it feels like more sturdy and
it's balanced.
Yeah, it's balanced. I really like it.
Most polyurethane stocks, this back here is hollow, and that makes the gun front heavy.
Yep.
So, and I fill them with baking powder and rags and whatever, but with wood, you don't have to worry about that.
No,
And this is one of the few air guns that comes with a regulator.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So.
This is one that a lot of people don't know about, but it's a Walther.
Yep. It's the Walther Rain, and it's a very popular gun. And Izzy, decided to chop off the factory suppressor and put in our suppressor on there. And now we've been getting requests all the time, people sending in their guns, and Izzy does his magic with it.
So this is not the cheap plastic.
No.
Piece that comes with the gun. Yep. This is pure DonEFL.
Yes. Yep. And this gun is really fun too. Like if you handle it, it's really nice. It's a really nice grip. We actually got it for my son. It was a gift from Humerex to my son for because he was having a hard time cocking like the other brake barrels and stuff like that. So they gave this to him, and it's so easy to shoot.
And it's accurate too.
Yeah, very accurate.
It's kind of hard to beat that Walther barrel.
For my kids, it's accurate.
Yes.
And then we also have different leshies. We have the Gen 1 leshi. This was very popular. It's still popular by some people. And then this was single shot. So every time you want to put in, take another shot, you have to open it up, put in another pellet, and shoot it. Then the semi-auto came out, and it's just took over the market right now for a pistol.
So this is an Edgun also.
Yep, that's an Edgun.
Missing its shroud.
Yep. So we actually made an adapter so that you can use FX barrels in there.
Oh.
Yeah, and FX is known for their barrels, for their accuracy. So we wanted to be able to adapt to it.
FX guns are made in Sweden.
Yep.
Edgun is made in Russia.
Well, Russia, Czech Republic.
Czech.
Yeah.
Factories in Czech. Now I see some things here that look like suppressors. Oh, they look very much like a
expansion chambers. So, for example, like when the Zeus came out, we didn't have a suppressor made to that size of a you know,
72 caliber.
72 caliber. It was very experimental, and one of our, I'm not sure, Izzy, do you still have our first Zeus suppressor?
I think
It's basically a bunch of extenders, like empty tubes, that we machine and put it together. That way we can see how much air volume needs to be captured to lower the output.
Because you're the designer, the engineer.
Yeah. And you know, and I'm sure you've seen the final product. It's 14 inches long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we used to have suppressors that are 6 inches long, 8 inches long. We thought that was the most people were going to use, but the more we get into big bore, the more suppression is needed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we took it apart to make the ones for the arrow gun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we made an arrow gun.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
the
we used
harpoon
2 to
gun.
3 of them that we stacked together on top.
Yeah, there was 3, total 3.
So-
you can have your gun back.
So this is a gun that shoots arrows. Here's your arrows.
Yep. So this was sent to us so that we can do some R&D, see if we can suppress it. But you know, with an arrow gun, it's really hard because you have this huge hole in the front, right here.
This is the arrows.
Yep, that's the arrow. And one of the problems that we encounter is that when you add length to suppress it, well, the arrow only sticks out like an inch out of the shroud. So we are also aware of, like, you know, safety. So in order to push this in there, you're gonna have to somehow put your finger in there and push this arrow all the way in. We didn't feel that it was safe. So maybe in the future we'll make like one of those front loader sticks, you know.
Okay.
But
And hold it lightly.
yeah, hold it lightly. Yeah, so a lot of parts.
A couple people make a arrow gun, but Humorex makes a very good one.
Yeah, this air saber, and then they came out with a new one where it has the 2 arrows in the front, so you don't have to keep reloading.
Now these are your Saber Tactical pieces here.
Yeah.
And you make that.
Well, we designed it, and then we actually made it. Like the blue ones were made in Utah, and you can see them. You know, these are the ones with the machine marks and all of that. Yeah, they were sandblasted, but not to the professional level of sandblasting and finish. And then you can compare, you know, our finish where it's like kind of like flawless.
Yes. And into these would go the FX receiver and barrel.
Yeah.
But you would gain better control, better adjustability.
Yep, it's more for, you know, you make it so that it's more competition ready. You have this whole Arca rail where you can put your bipod, or tripod, like if you want to stand there and shoot, you can use the tripod. But yeah, the butt rest, the cheek riser. The guys who design these, they've been shooting for such a long time competitively that they knew what items to put, what features to put into the chassis.
You've got another Humorex over here.
Yep, that was that synergy that was sent to us, and we was able to make an adapter so you can put a suppressor on it.
So the Humorex brake barrel doesn't break the barrel, but it does break like a barrel break below it.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. What is this beige colored gun right over here?
That's our FX Crown, 25 caliber that we put in our Saber Tactical chassis.
Okay.
We had it Cerakoted by Utah Air Guns.
And this is on a tripod.
Yep, that one's on a tripod.
Okay. And
But I think the most important thing about our shop now is like being able to R&D in the house and be able to hold the pieces, and that's where our CNC machines come in play, and our machinist John over there. Yeah,
and he can machine these types of parts.
He's awesome. He came from the aerospace industry, so we trust him.
Sure. What about this Woodstock gun here?
It's a Vulcan. Actually, a friend of ours, a local friend, had an issue with it leaking. So Izzy took it apart, fixed the O-rings, and now it's back to shooting. Just waiting for him to pick it up.
I've done this too, where you take a male probe and just leave it in the gun.
Just leave it in there. Yeah, I know people need like dust caps and all that to protect it, but I sometimes do that too.
So, this research is going on over here.
No, Izzy's doing helpy now. So if you're sending questions to our website, Izzy is here answering.
I try not to get in there.
Yeah, so he's handling that, and then when he's not answering, he'll go over to the CNC machines or the manual machines to do some R&D as well. Then we got Markeith, our master artistic talent over there. Yeah, check out the stuff that he does. It's just amazing.
And so right now what I'm working on is, so we have the idea of creating these patches for ourselves for promotional purposes. So what I'm doing is I am drawing digitally a FX Crown MK2. And that way that I could utilize the vector file to create something similar to this as a patch. And all I'm going to do is just put the gun in the foreground and have pew pew in the background.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, this is the stuff I do all day.
You're very well organized here. I have a feeling you might be ex-military. Is that true?
Absolutely, actually, that's a pretty good guess. I come from the Marine Corps.
Marine Corps.
Yeah, I got out as a sergeant, so yeah.
So you're here in sunny Florida. You might have served how far north?
As far as Maryland. Yeah.
You ever get up to Alaska? Those places.
Oh yeah, so I did do some. So right now it's pretty kind of chilly here in Florida, but I don't complain because I did do some intense cold weather training in Alaska, so I have no complaints about cold anywhere I go now.
What does this box to the left do?
This right here is actually, I can show you, I can demonstrate. So if I connect this cord right here, this becomes our product shooting station right here. So basically I could have anything, you know, of our products, and I place it in there, take a photo of it, and then normally that goes onto our website. You could actually see it right over there. Izzy's
Where Izzy, yeah.
And the you have a catalog too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, Donny, you've got a lot of good people working there for you.
Thank you.
Donny, there's 4 or 5 companies out there making suppressors. Do you know any of those people?
Yep. I'm actually really good friends with most of the other manufacturers of their air guns.
How long have you been in this
suppressors.
business?
I've been doing it since 2013. My son was born in 2012, and that's when I felt like I needed to do something more to contribute to the family.
So you went with 0% of the market. Any idea how much of the market you have today?
My guess, I know we're dominating the market. You know, everywhere you look at, it's DonnyFL. Yeah, so I don't know. It's a high percentage. I mean, it's humbling that you go to competition, you see all these social media posts. It's mostly DonnyFLs. So I remember the first year I got there, it's like, you know, all competitors, and mine, like if I saw 1 or 2, I'm happy, and it's mostly the ones that I gave out for free. Yeah.
So when you went to the first SHOT Show, they may not have even known you.
No, only a few people knew me at the time because I mainly did, you know, it seemed like it was yesterday, but 10 years ago, Facebook wasn't that active and this Instagram wasn't all that active. So my name wasn't out there as much as it is now. But yeah, the first year was very hard. It was mostly through dealers, emailing them, communicating with them, and just the forums that I usually join and communicate, talk air guns with.
So when you're at a SHOT Show now, we just had one last month, a few more people know you now?
Yeah, I feel like I've made an impact in the industry. You know, I can contribute to the airgun community, and people know me now.
So marketing people would say you've got a larger footprint in the marketplace today.
Yeah.
Global.
Yeah, we do international. It's internationally.
Our videos that we do, it shocks me how far they go around the world.
Yeah.
Through Google's YouTube. And we get responses from all over the world. I've got some questions I wrote to to ask you once we got together.
Sure, fire away.
This facility's big. Is this where we started?
No, this is a 5,000 square foot facility right now, but this is actually our 4th location. I started from my first house garage to the second house garage to a smaller warehouse, 2,000 square feet warehouse, and then to this current situation right now.
Well, good. Now, everything here is a suppressor for an air gun.
Yes.
How is that different than a silencer for a powder gun?
Well, it's, anything, that legal part is, anything can be made into a firearm suppressor. You think about Coke bottles, a potato, a pillowcase. What they look at is your intent. Like how you intend to use the products or and our intent is always for air guns, and so we put for air gun use only. We threaded for air guns, not the half 28, which is more common for firearms. So we just stick with that, and I think that's how brought us to where we are, just by educating people that it's for air guns.
Some people have tried to measure suppressors with a sound meter.
Yeah.
I don't think the sound meter is what we really want to use. I think it's that we want it to sound different. I mean, some car with the boom boxes go down the street making a lot more noise than an air gun, but that doesn't concern people because it's a different sound.
It's a different tone, definitely a different tone. And even from when I started, I've never really used a dB meter, just because from word of mouth, I've had friends who are into acoustics and the sound business, and they're like, Donny, what you buy, $20, $50, $100, it's not the machine that we measure in the sound industry. It's like these devices cost like thousands of dollars. So it's kind of like people who tell me that they measure their sound with their iPhone. It's just like, it's a joke to them when I say I bought a sound meter off Amazon and I'm using it to educate people. It just doesn't. So, and it's hard to tell people that because I use my ear. It's my sound tester. If I hear it low, then I know people are going to be happy with the report. And my family was a big part of it because I used them as testers.
Sounding
guinea pigs.
board.
Yeah. So and as you know, most of the air guns, it's all about the hammer slap. And that's what makes a lot of noise because you're the shooter and the action's right there. It's next to your ear, so you hear it loud. So by having other people around, standing 10 feet away, 20 feet away, and that's where like the neighbors are usually, and you can see if it's quiet enough for backyard shooting.
Harvard has a master's degree in business, and probably the center point of their education is what they call the 5 Ps. The most important P of all, the second most important P, is your product or service. You spend a lot of time putting these products together.
Yeah, we do. Our products, because it's mine, I really take a lot of energy into making what it is today, making sure that it works the way that we advertise it, and just for someone to hold it and be happy with it, that makes me happy. So it's not always about the sales. It's all about how people take in my product and the feedback that they give me. That's what makes it worthwhile.
We won't be teaching those whole 5 Ps in today's video, but product is important. But the other Ps were price and promotion, and your SOP manual makes this place hum. Mm-hmm. But the most important P is the right people.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I couldn't help but meet Izzy and others here. You've hired some good people here.
I think I got lucky with the people I have like on my team. It all kind of fell into place with their personality. It matches. So when we interview people, their background is important, but the most important thing is their vibe that they bring into the team. Are they going to be sociable with everyone? Is there any concerns? And that's what I look for.
You've got 4 or 5 different types of suppressors, at least the sizes. On my AEA Zeus, I have the Con.
Yeah.
I walked in today and I saw you handling what I thought was your newest suppressor, something called the Fat Boy.
Yeah.
But it was a suppressor.
Well, the Fat Boy is a suppressor, but then we came out with other parts to make it even better. We have the muzzle brake, or also the air stripper, you know. And then because I know the Fat Boy is only 4.25 inches long, eventually someone's gonna want it to be quieter. So then we came out with the 3-inch extender, you know. So air guns is all about volume. The more you want to make it quiet, you just add more volume to it.
We think of DonnyFL as the best suppressor company, but you've got two companies here.
Yeah.
Your brain didn't just stop with suppressors. What else?
And we also I also part owner of Saber Tactical, and my other partners are Thane and Val Simmons from Utah. We found a common interest when we met each other. You know, I think the industry opens up to so many opportunities with networking that we felt that there was a need accessories for air guns. So we came out with Saber Tactical.
Donny, even I was not the perfect businessman. I look back and I think, well, if I did something a little different, it would have been better. You look back over your history. It started in 2012.
2013, around that area, 2012, 13.
What would you have done different?
You know, to tell the truth, I think the way we did it slow. I think I wouldn't change anything much from how to where we are today. I think we grew accordingly. We scaled our business as we grew. We didn't jump into just buying a warehouse with the idea of selling suppressors. You know, we worked in my house at the time as long as we could until we had no room to walk. You know, so that allowed us to save money to rent a nice location. You know, nice facility. But then again, you know, we jumped from a 2-car garage to a 3-car garage thinking this is going to last us years with all this space. But then again, you know, it lasted only a couple of months, and then we jumped into 2,000 square foot, lasted 6 months, and then now we are in 5,000 square feet. And I told you earlier, I don't think, you know, in 3 years we'll probably be in a bigger facility.
I think what I've read is that Microsoft started in a garage.
Yeah.
You may be borrowing right from their plan.
Yeah. Yep.
The crystal ball is never crystal clear. Where's our industry going?
You know, we give stickers away to new customers, first-time buyers, right? So we buy thousands of stickers every time, and it used to last us a couple of months. Now it lasts us like a month or so. You know, these stickers are flying, and what that tells me is that there's a lot of new first-time customers. A lot more people are coming into the airgun side. So I think it's very healthy. During COVID, our sales were going up when other industries were going down. So I have really high hopes for our industry.
So they probably sat at home, not going to school or work, and thought, I need an air gun to keep me happier.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe in silence. I think you have the motto of, what was it?
Silence is a priority.
Silence is a priority.
Yeah.
It was such a priority with us because even on our new logo that we're developing, we have stay gun, safe, sharp, and silent.
Yeah.
And whether I'm shooting in my backyard at targets or hunting and shooting at something even 100 yards away,
Yeah.
I want it silent.
Yeah. I feel
And it
the same.
allows me to shoot that whole day and maybe get more than one game harvested.
It's safer for your ears too.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's safer for the ears. Somebody said the other day, I was shooting at Zeus, and they said, don't you want to cover your ears?
Yeah.
I said, no, I've got a DonEFL suppressor on the end of this
Yep.
barrel. So, what is your, sounds like Izzy's favorite gun is FX and 22. What is yours?
I like to shoot 25. And I also like the FX models because it's so easy to work on and so versatile. You can change different barrels, and because we also do Saber Tactical, we can do accessorize the guns, make it look nice. So I know a lot of guns is just like you add a rail underneath for a bipod, a scope, and that's about it. Whereas FX, you can do so much more to it.
I have about collection. Dr. Paul has taken the cameras. You probably know this to be true. Probably 25 to 30 pistols, probably 25 rifles, probably 4 shotguns.
Yep.
And each quarter, I sell off some. Number one, because I'm just shooting them so seldom. And how do you shoot that many powder guns? And where would you shoot them? But I shoot air every week, and maybe some weeks every day of the week.
Yep.
So I'm enjoying that, and so I'm watching this inventory or collection of mine shift over into air.
Yep.
And your suppressors have made that especially easy for me to do.
Yeah.
Well, I see at the SHOT Show that FX is talking about a harmonic balancer. You're developing, and that's a beautiful harmonic balancer I saw. And I see Daystate working on a computer keyboard to keep their guns
Really nice.
the touch of the trigger soft, which to me is important. But I've also heard that it's not quite waterproof, so water can get in there.
Yeah.
And the FX is really mechanical.
Yeah.
So we might see if that's true. Maybe FX will take the lead.
Yeah. I haven't had much experience with the Daystate models as well. It's just that we just haven't had an opportunity. There's so many different air guns out there right now. It's hard where with our business we kind of focus on what we know is selling a lot. So with the impacts and the Dreamlines, there's so many different accessories that we're able to make for it. So
you've been to the SHOT Show. Europe has a real big air gun show because they are bigger in Europe with air guns. Have you been to that show?
Which one is it?
I'm not sure what it's. I just know it's a very big air gun show.
It's the IWA. Yeah, that's a very big one. You get tired of walking there. I mean, it takes days. But luckily, last time I was there, FX invited me to be at their booth. So we were stationary. We just stayed there, and then, I got to meet a lot of the dealers and that I've dealt with for DonnyFL. So it's nice. I didn't have to walk around as much, but at the end of the show, I was able to find some time to just walk around, but it's just humongous. You walk a couple, and then you just like, I'm going back.
Your name is Donny. The name of the company is DonnyFL. But I saw a beautiful woman run out of here to go get her kids to school, and she acted more like she was the president. Who is that woman?
That's Yolanda, my wife. Yeah, she runs the place, and she runs the shipping side of the business, whereas I take care of the other guys in the R&D, the help, emails and help support and all that, and the innovation. That's when you build a company, you have to focus on what you're good at. She won't let me wrap the Christmas gifts for a reason, because I can't package well, so I stay away. I remember when I used to do it, she always complained about every little thing that I packed. Why didn't you put this in there? Why didn't you do this? I was like, you know what? You and your team can do it. I'm focusing on over there. Well,
I know how important wives can be.
Yeah.
Dr. Paula was my. One time she was a secretary, but I found out she was far more valuable as the office manager, and then far more valuable as a vice president of the company. And why? Because she was a problem solver.
Yeah.
It's hard to find problem solvers.
It is. And in the workplace where I used to work for a corporate and all that, you always feel like you're not getting the attention you need, or you're not getting paid the way that you feel like you deserve. So having your own company, if you think you can make that much money, you work harder, and it shows. Yolanda used to, work for a company where she was always the hardest worker. She's the fastest worker, always the hardest worker. She wasn't compensated that way due to the seniorities of the way that they were structured. So I knew I had a lot of respect for Yolanda in her work ethics, and I was like, why don't you come work for me, work for us? This is our company. I always wanted to have something where we can work together, like in real estate. I got my real estate license. I was like, Yolanda, why don't you join me in real estate? We can sell together. So she got her real estate license, but she didn't feel it. So I didn't force her. You don't make money if you don't enjoy it, or it won't last that long. Whereas in air guns, and I was really surprised where she is today, because at that time she didn't care about my air guns either. Every time I asked her to come out to listen to the sounds, she's like, again, it's like, it's like one thing. But the more she goes into all these competitions with me and all these network events and all that, she's getting to know everyone. And now she's like, those are our friends now. These are our closest friends, I have to say. The guys that I work with or deal with are some of my bestest friends now.
So it's a great industry. It'll continue to be great and continue to grow.
Yep, I believe so. And it's a great niche. I mean, like, if you ever get to go to RMAC or the Rocky Mountain, Utah Rocky Mountain Air Gun Challenge, EBR, Pyramid Air Cup, all these are just great events to bring the air gunners together.
You've got to be sharp with your technology growth. I remember as a kid, there was only one air gun company, Daisy. And I had the Red Ryder, and I had the Model 25, which was the pump. But they didn't stay up. They had 100% of the business. But they didn't continue to do the technology going forward.
Yeah.
They got a couple of pumps going, then they just kind of quit.
Yeah.
And today, looking at FX and some other guns, boy, if you're not, and DonEFL, if you don't look at tomorrow's needs, you'll be washed up and out of business.
Yep, I agree that you always got to stay a step ahead. You have to always have an ear open on what's going on out on the social media, what people are asking for, and then you try to meet their needs.
Okay. Well, I'm not being paid anything for this interview. I had to come down and see this DonEFL operation because I was experiencing in Detroit the best doggone suppressors I've ever shot with. And boy, is it important. So, if you can, give us a thumbs up, subscribe so you get the next video, and also remember to stay airgun safe, airgun sharp, and how about airgun silent?
Yep, definitely.